Alright, it's my next super nerdy video, but very, very stoked about what I've just got hooked up and confirmed. So, computer right now connected only to this guy, which is a Teensy 4.1 on a SK-Pang board. I think I'm saying that right. But the board essentially has three breakouts for the three different onboard CAN buses of the Teensy 4.1. And it's got a little TFT screen, which I've put some funny words on there. My junky RS4. But just for testing, I've got what's called CAN 3 connected directly to the powertrain bus in the car through the OBD2 port. And through a lot of work today, I've figured out exactly how to program things. And just a quick view here. This is the serial output from the Teensy when it's first cranked up. So this is outlining CAN 3, which is what the car is currently connected to. Some parameters here that I have serial printing, but mainly these mailboxes. So I can define the mailboxes to receive standard frames, receive extended frames, or transmit. And so what I've chosen to do is on all 16 mailboxes, which is really awesome because a lot of things don't have this many mailboxes, but the Teensy does. I've defined all of them as receive and standard because all the raw CAN data on the RS4 is standard frame format, and this particular bus I only want to be receiving from. So I've assigned in the program, let's see if I can get to it without being too cumbersome here. I've assigned, here we go. So each of these lines, I'm assigning that it's a receive and a standard frame, that particular mailbox. And then each mailbox, I've assigned a very specific filter. So each mailbox will only be receiving a single message ID. So what that allows me to do is it allows me to essentially retain all of the message data from that particular message ID in the mailbox and retrieve it whenever I need it, rather than essentially just having to deal with one CAN message, or the data in one CAN message at a time. So I'd have to do all the data processing and everything, and then hopefully the program and the hardware would be running fast enough to receive the next message in the queue. So, with all that being said, let's see here, this thing is set to auto scroll. So it is not currently receiving any CAN data, but you can see actually here, this is CAN 2, and then further down, there's CAN 3. I'm sorry, CAN 1. Let's see if there we go. There's CAN 2, so by default, the first 4 mailboxes are standard frames, the next 4 are extended frames, and then the final, what would that be, 6, 7, I don't know, are receive frame, are send frames, TX. So CAN 2 and CAN 1 are identical. I haven't messed with those yet, don't need to. But when I turn the car on here, bam, that's exactly what I wanted to see. So if I turn off auto scroll, what I have here is the Teensy is receiving every single CAN message with the IDs that I've defined, and assigning those unique message IDs, or the data in those unique message IDs, to a specific mailbox. So if I search here, and I've only done it down through mailbox 13, so 14 and 15 are not are just free to receive whatever. But let's see here. Mailbox 5 is receiving message ID 380. And if I scroll down and look for the next Mailbox 5, look at that right there. Mailbox 5, again, it's receiving only message or ID 380. So I now have super duper awesome access to everything that I need from the factory CAN bus, the powertrain CAN bus on the Teensy. So CAN 3 will be used to just listen. The Teensy will store and process that data as necessary. And then CAN 2 and CAN 1, these guys will be receiving and sending to handle all the e-booster control, all the boost control, all the sensor data from the Arduinos that I've added and the sensors that I've added to the front and the rear of the car. But that way I can stay completely separate and disconnected from all of that additional info or data transmission and just listen passively to the factory bus. Super stoked.